EVs haven't exactly taken off in Japan, and part of that is a reason, well, it's not so much consumers, it's more the manufacturers themselves. But the truth is that customers, or people in Japan, do want electric cars, and in fact they do buy quite a few of them. This is the most popular electric car in Japan. It's quite cheap. It's $13,000 and it's actually made surprisingly by Nissan. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans, you're watching the Electric Viking. Welcome to the new subscribers, great to have you. If you can support us on Patreon, even $1, $2, any amount is fantastic. Thank you to our Patreon supporters, really appreciate you. I'll put a link in the description below. There is a key class car, so a bit smaller than say something like a Toyota Echo. There's a Nissan Sakura and also a similar sister car called the Mitsubishi EKX. These account for half these two cars, which are basically the same car. So in other words, one model of car with different badges on it accounts for half of all EVs sold in Japan. Very, very interesting to see where the market's going in Japan. In fact, the market is sort of in some ways following China. These size electric cars are also extremely popular in China. They're fantastic for parking, getting around small streets, getting around city streets. They'd be a phenomenal product in Europe, in my opinion. And they're actually very, very popular. Though Japan's car industry has introduced a number of technical advances over the years, and it has really pushed hybrids, it's really well behind when it comes to EVs. Now, the Nissan Leaf was in fact the first mass-produced electric car, the first EV to ever sell 500,000. Of course, Tesla has overtaken it with the Model 3 and the Model Y now, but for a while there, the Nissan Leaf was the best-selling EV in the world. But only 1.5% of new cars bought in Japan last year were fully electric. That's primarily because Japanese manufacturers don't make them. But that's starting to change. The 63 horsepower, 47 kilowatt Nissan Sakura and its Mitsubishi EKX twin in the skin, same car rebadged, are helping drivers to buy more EVs. They're affordable and they're actually pretty good. They only cost $13,000 each. That's pretty cheap, and it's quite a bit cheaper than the equivalent Citroen EC3, which is admittedly a bit bigger of a car, but it's $21,000 approximately. Buyers have to accept some compromises to drive an EV this small, but at the same time, you do get some benefits. Like I said, easy to park, charges the battery quite quickly. It's a small battery pack, and of course, you can get around in really tight areas. So how big is this car actually? Well, it's bigger than something like a Hongwan Mini. You know, the famous Wuling Hongwan Mini EV that's built as a joint venture partnership with General Motors. This car here is 3.4 meters long. That's 133.7 inches. And it'll do a top speed of actually pretty impressive 130 kilometers an hour. That's 81 miles per hour. So that's more than good enough to drive on a freeway or a highway. How far can it drive though on a full charge? You can do 112 miles. That's 180 kilometers. And that range comes from a 20 kilowatt hour battery pack. Currently, it's a lithium ternary battery because that's pretty much the only type of battery chemistry manufactured in Japan, or the primary chemistry manufactured in Japan. Now, these kinds of cars actually get tax breaks in Japan, but they have to stay within a certain size to qualify. So it's pretty small. It's not great looking, but because of its weird boxy shape, it's actually bigger on the inside than what you might imagine. Cars, say for example, something like a Mazda 2, are actually smaller on the inside. The Mazda 2 has a very long bonnet. It's sort of shaped in a flat way, but this little box can store quite a bit more in it than you would imagine you could. Will the EV revolution comprise of these kinds of cars? Are these important? Do they matter? I think they do. There's a lot of people that don't want to buy a big car. A lot of people that would be much better off. In fact, the planet would be much better off if we all drove cars this size. Now, they're not suitable for big families, of course. But for a lot of people, these work. And keep in mind, the fastest growing household type in the world by a factor of 10 is a single person household. That's the case for countries like Australia and especially for Japan, where more and more people are choosing to live by themselves. This is the perfect car for all those single person households. in Japan. Let me know what your thoughts are. Would you actually consider buying one? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.